What's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock. We're going to confirm off counters today, but also go into detail about why they happen in the first place and how you can generate them, and also go into some exercises that can help improve your ability to recognize the counter hit state and confirm off of two different counter hits at the same time. So, first thing we want to talk about, and the main focal point of the whole point of this video, is her standing jab and what you can do off of it. So her standing jab is 4 frames of startup, 3 active frames plus 2 on block. That's very important. And the other thing is her standing medium kick, which is 5 frames of startup, and it's plus 3 on hit, but that's not really what we're trying to look at here. We're looking at the counter hit state. So when standing jab hits, it's I believe plus 3 or 4, but what we really want is if we're to counter hit, and we want our standing forward to also counter it. But we want to set it up in a way that it benefits us regardless of either one counter hitting. But it's important to understand why they counter hit and the math behind it. So even if you're not familiar with frame data, you can set your opponent in training mode to do a 3-frame normal, the fastest attacks in the game. So, for example, Laura, her standing jab is 3 frames of startup. So I have a program to do her standing jab immediately. So again, I'm plus 2 when this is blocked, and my standing medium kick is 5 frames of startup. So that means I can essentially subtract 2 frames of advantage that I have off of my standing jab, off of the 5 frames of startup of my standing forward. So that means it's almost as if it's a 3-frame move, which is equal to the 3-frame standing jab of Laura. But since the priority system in Street Fighter V dictates that if a move of a bigger strength hits at the active frames collide, the strong will beat the weaker button. So fierce will beat strong in jab, strong will beat jab, jabs will trade to the same strength they will trade. But in this scenario here, you can see that it counter hits. This is exactly what we want. Exactly what we want. So the counter hit state also increases the amount of frame advantage that you have. It puts them in more hits though. Therefore, you can have bigger combos. So instead of being plus 3, as I described earlier, the standing medium kick, it'll be plus 5. So this standing short of Colleen's is 5 frames of startup. So that means we can link into it. It's equal to the frame advantage that you have. So therefore, so this standing short will work here. So what's important to also understand here is the standing jab from Colleen will also, if that counter hits, your standing forward, standing medium kick, will also combo where it normally doesn't. So you have 2 different scenarios here that happen in sequence where you have 2 different combo opportunities off of a counter hit that also generate a counter hit state if your opponent is mashing something that is the fastest normal in the game, which is 3 frames. And again, not all characters have 3-frame normals. Some of them have more. They have longer in 4-frame normals, such as Zangief, Fong, Guile. There's a couple of them out there. But Laura does have a 3-frame, so this is a good way to test if your setup will work on everybody. So again, off of your standing jab, you can link into standing forward on block. That's a good block string. If they hit a button, your standing forward will counter hit them, and then you can link into standing short. Now, if your standing jab counter hits, you can link into standing forward, which is what we're doing anyways. And for the purpose of the exercise that I'm about to explain, this is really what you're looking for. It's this and this. Standing jab into standing forward. So now what we want here, because now we know the reason why standing forward would counter hit them. Now what is it that might generate a counter hit for the standing jab? It's 4 frames. So you look into the knockdowns. If they normal recovery off your V-skill knockdown, and they wake up with a 3-frame button here. So you can see Laura is waking up with her standing jab, 3 frames. Now I have a good frame kill that when I dash up and hit standing jab, it will counter hit their 3-frame normal. And again, when that counter hits, you can go into standing forward. So that's a reason why that your standing jab might counter hit them on wake up. So that in turn conditions your opponent to not do that, which means you can walk up and grab them. Basically, that's what it means, you can walk up. In this scenario here, time it right, grab will be. It'll happen on the same thing. I believe you're plus 2, maybe plus 3. I think plus 2 here. So that's why your standing jab would counter hit them. So let's say they block on wake up here. Let's say they block immediately after they are knocked down by this V-skill. but they mash. But they block, and then after they block, they mash on their 3-frame normal after they block your standing jab, which would counter hit them if they normal recovery in this scenario. So we want to set our opponent to guard after the first attack. So they're hit by this, they wake up, block the standing jab, and then once they get off the ground, they block the standing jab, and you want the standing forward to counter hit them, and then you'll go into the standing short. And then you would confirm off of that and go into the parabellum. For the purpose of the exercise, I would recommend just using regular light punch parabellum, just so you don't waste as much time. So now we understand 2 different scenarios where each one would counter hit them. But now we want to put it together in an exercise that helps us do it without having even a setup, just to do it on the fly. And this is very valuable to do. So what we want to do is put their counter hit state on random. And for now, no guard is just fine. Even though we've established that we want them to guard the standing jab and then get hit by the standing forward by hitting their 3-frame, 4-frame, or even anything else except invincible moves. So we want that to counter hit. So what we can do here is we can pay attention to the counter hit state on the left side of the screen where it says counter. And let me make sure this is on random. So when I see my standing jab counter, see, notice I didn't do anything there. When I see my standing jab counter, that's when I complete the combo into the target combo into V-skill, which then goes back to the situation that I described earlier. So when I see my standing jab counter, I immediately go into standing fierce punch and then the V-skill. But what is gonna be harder for me to demonstrate is when my standing jab only hits them but doesn't counter hit them. Then I go into standing medium kick, and then that counter hits, and then I confirm off of that into standing short, into EX Parabellum, or in the case here, that's exactly what we'll talk about there. So I'll do the standing short into Parabellum in that situation. But doing both at the same time is quite challenging. But and the trick to doing both is to first look for the counter hit standing jab, and then you have more time after that to see what state they're in when the standing forward hits. So if you see the standing jab counter hit, then you go into fierce into the target combo. And then if you don't see it hit, then you look if there's a counter hit state after that, and then you confirm into standing short into parabellum if it does counter hit. And if nothing happens, just as you see here, then you don't do anything. And just for information's sake, standing forward is -2 on block, so you don't have advantage after that is blocked, but you're also safe and you're still at a good distance to where it's a bit of a challenge for your opponent to pressure you. They can counter hit you at that point if you continue to pressure them. Sometimes I like to hit standing short after that anyways, and then I'm standing short again. But that's actually a 7-frame window. If you're -2 and then your standing short is 5, and plus this is a light attack, so it's easier to be crushed by other normals. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Put the counter on random, and then see, give it a shot for yourself and see what you think. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, that's it. Y'all take care. Peace.